The following is a special presentation of 18 WJTS Sports. This is Indiana High School basketball here on 18 WJTS TV. High school basketball is proudly brought to you by Southern Indiana Propane, Mehringer Plumbing, Heating and Air, DuBois County Tire, and Ubalor & Sons Chevy, Cadillac, Toyota. It's time to settle in, as tip-off is moments away.
Welcome to Jasper High School. Tonight's the Jasper Wildcats on senior night are taking on the Bedford North Lawrence Stars to finish up their regular season. The Wildcats come into this basketball game with a 13-8 record against the Bedford North Lawrence Stars at 6-15. Hello, everybody. I'm Craig Schneider along with Jason Stamm and Jeremy Marcos on the video. And Jason, senior night, so a celebration of many seniors, not just the basketball team, but cheerleaders, dance, band.
Not quite as many as there was at Harrison the other night, but Jasper does, on senior night, always honor, like you said, the cheerleaders, the dance, the band, and then the basketball players.
Right.
So it was a nice ceremony, and it's a nice opportunity to thank these kids, that have participated in whatever event thing that they do.
Yes.
They put in a lot of time for 4 years, to do that. So it's a nice event for them to honor them.
Yeah, with recognition and a video and all that, so they just really go all out for most senior nights. I mean, we actually saw it the other night on the road at Harrison, and they had a pretty extensive celebration there. So the same thing here with Jasper, and of course with the Wildcats, they'll be starting all seniors on the starting lineup. Of course, Max Butel and Logan Day are regular starters, but they will not be in the lineup tonight. So it'll be a celebration for guys like Kian Lamont, Jack Levin, guys that play, Levi Klaus, Ethan Thornburg, Cash Kendall. All those guys see minutes throughout the season and all that, but it's nice for them to get a start on their final game.
Yeah, it is. They've participated in basketball for 4 years. They put in a lot of time and effort, and Coach Gable, he usually tries to reward those seniors on senior night to let them, at least get a start a game, and it's exciting for them, and it should be.
Right.
So.
Yep. Absolutely. All right. So Bedford's out there on the floor as well. But I see one different starter that's number 2 that's not even on my roster. So they always kind of sneak something like that on us. But so Jasper's able to control the tip here, and we are underway with this basketball game. And there's a quick steal by number 10. That's Easton Moore. And then a three-point is hit right there by Dax Short, number 5. So Bedford off to a quick start.
Yeah, they came out and they looked like a bunch of banshees out there. I mean, they were going after right at Jasper with that first possession and forced a turnover.
Other starters for Bedford includes Gibson Crane, number 24, Jed Alves, number 23. And there's a three-pointer, and so an outstanding start for Lamont. He had a few three-pointers the other night, and looks like his shot's still on. So Jasper's going to put a full-court press on him to put a little pressure, getting the ball up court. And I'm going to say number 2 is probably Jack Parsons because he's on the JV roster.
I got to ax him.
You know what? I wrote that down wrong. My bad. I put 12 down for Axum, so that threw me off. Sorry about that. So, that is Driven Axum, number 2 for Bedford, but we actually...
He's only 5'8", so, he could be a little hard to see out there. So. Now, number 24, on the other hand, is a rather large high school senior. I mean, he's got some arms on him.
That's Gibson Crane, 6'3", but he's got some really good size.
Yeah.
Of course, you check the football roster to see if we see him there.
I would assume he played, but because if he didn't, they missed out on him.
Yeah, no doubt. He's a senior on this team. So Dax Short tries to make a move, kicks it to the corner. Three-pointer is going to be short. And there's a scrum for the basketball, and it comes down into the hands of the Wildcats. That's Levi Klaus, and he gets it over. Cats working the perimeter right now. Number 33 is Thornburg. Kendall with it, tries to get to the elbow and gives it up. Lamont. It's the thing when you kind of start a senior lineup like this, it's like nobody's sure who's allowed to shoot.
You don't have, I mean, obviously Lamont's probably
the green light.
The green light, better of the shooters that are out there. But, nobody scores many points, in regular games that's out there.
So, again, this is a Bedford team that has struggled, especially as of late. They have lost 8 of their last 10 games, and many of them by 20-plus points. But there's an outstanding drive by Cash Kendall. Really showed a good move there and was able to get that shot up and in. So Jasper with a 5-3 lead, 2.5 minutes into the quarter. Dax short with it. He's picked up there by Levin. Tries to work off a screen set. Crane gets it back out, so another three-point shot is on the way. Doesn't go for short this time. Levin gets it to the corner, sets up for a three-point shot right there, and a good job by Cash Kendall. He's got 5 points already in this game to give the Wildcats a 5-point lead. 8-3 is our score. 3 minutes into the ball game as Short quickly gets to the lane and kisses it off the glass, so a nice drive there for him. And actually the Wildcats are going to call a quick timeout.
No, actually Bedford called that.
Oh, Bedford called a timeout. All right, we'll take our first break. Jasper leads 8-5 over the Bedford North Lawrence Stars here on 18 WJTS.
Not sure why, but
think about the journey, not about how you're getting there. The all-new Michelin LTX MS2, engineered for 2 extra years of tread life. Available at DuBois County Tire and Supply in Jasper.
Big or small, we service all. DuBois County Tire.
Jason, we didn't really get a chance to talk about the sectional draw and things like that. The thing is about this particular game, and Jasper had an extra game because we had a makeup, and it was a conference game, and a big conference game for Jasper winning that game because we finished at least with a tie for second in the conference with a 7-2 record, and it's already been North has been crowned the champion of the conference. But
that's a pretty good thing to claim, second place in the conference. That year in and year out, that conference is usually pretty good. To me, in basketball, the SIAC is usually there's usually a dividing line, where the top teams are pretty equal, and then the bottom teams are, having down years.
Struggling.
And I think this year was kind of the same way. So to finish in that top part of it, that's a nice accomplishment.
Well, it says a lot about your team. I mean, again, Jasper 13-8 on the season and had some stretches where we struggled a little bit, but there's a nice shot hit. So they're actually spreading the wealth out here with the seniors on the floor. Ethan Thornburg hits that one.
And I like to see that. I mean, these, like we said, it's nice to see these kids get the opportunity to start, but then to be able to produce. I mean, they've scored 11 points in 4 minutes.
Yeah.
So, that's nice to see.
And that goes right through the hand of Short, and he's having to save it from going across the timeline. They try to feed down into the big guy, Crane, and it goes right out of bounds. So we've got our first substitutions for the Wildcats tonight. The other 2 seniors are on the floor now. So you see Logan Day, number 5, and Max Butel. So a good hand given to Lamont, and also Kendall, who will have a seat. But I'm sure we'll see those guys again.
Oh, I'm sure.
So 11-5, you're right. Jasper is extended to a 6-point lead in this ball game. 3:30 to go here in the quarter. Bedford going with a 2-3 zone.
Yeah, and that with good ball movement, that can result in some good looks from the outside. But you still got to throw the ball inside to get the outside, just like that there. That's a nice pass.
Well, it sets up Day, who's short on that shot. So,
but it was still good execution of the offense, because it went inside and they made the extra pass to the open guy.
Short with an aggressive move right there, doesn't go. So Day's trying to push it up the court here, gets it over to Butel, sets up for a three-point shot. He's short. And we've got a whistle down low, and this is going to go against the Stars. But, you know, against that 2-3 zone, again, there's certain spots that if you can get to, like within the lane, and even sometimes when you work the baseline coming underneath, I think there's open opportunities in the lane.
Yeah, you know, one thing I know Jasper always works on is they call it the short corner, which is basically not all the way out in the corner at the three-point line, but between the free throw line and the three-point line is what they.
Hey, check that out. Jack Levin now. So he's got a three-pointer. 4 players have hit three-pointers in this game. Jack adds his name to it. So a 9-point lead for the Wildcats, 14-5 as Short. Nice Larry Bird shot there, but didn't have the same result. Butel attacks and misses the layup. So Jasper trying to push a little bit right now.
Yeah, I think, you know, it wasn't a bad shot. I mean, they did a good job of getting down the floor, but just didn't convert it.
Yeah, Short shooting.
Obviously, Short is their go-to guy. I mean, he's their playmaker. You know, you've seen that here in the first quarter, that he's really about the only guy that's aggressive and goes to the basket or even looks to shoot.
So he's going to step to the line as that's the first foul whistled on the Wildcats, and they're going on Levi Klaus. And Short hits the free throw, so he has got all 6 of Bedford's points right now. Oh, substitutions. Ben Connor has come in. Lamont's back in.
Lamont and Kendall both came in. They came in for Levin and Thornburg. So he's kind of rotating all his seniors here in this quarter.
Well, they're doing an outstanding job building this lead. Now Day's going to attack. Gets cut off. Lamont sets up
the
for
hot
a three.
hand.
He's hot over the last few games. Kean Lamont, 6 points for him in the quarter, and it's a 10-point lead now for the Wildcats.
Yeah, and I think he had at least 3 threes the other night.
Short trying to do a little too much there against a double team and loses the handle. So Jasper with a good defensive play there on the full court press. Lamont gets it again in the corner. Day attacks, kicks out. Lamont, shot fake. There's a good look from the corner, but a little bit short there for Kendall. Now Lamont finds an open spot.
Oh.
Can't get that one.
Every time he shoots, you think it's got to go in.
I'll tell you what, he's proven it. You know, again,
he has.
That's what we're going to need next week.
Yep. Yeah, you got to have guys, you know, that you can't rely on Mainers and Foy all the time to do all your scoring. And, you know, even down at Harrison the other night, Lamont come in and played some key minutes and, you know, in some crucial situations and was able to score.
Right. There's a good work as Short got to the lane, was able to drop it off to Ben Connor for an easy bucket. So 17-9 is our score. We're 23 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Jasper with an outstanding start, playing all 7 of their seniors in this quarter. So we're down to 10. Butel picks up his dribble, looking for somebody. Now he's got help from Lamont. That sets up Day wide open, and he can't get it to go. Jasper comes down with the board, but that's the end of the quarter. So great start for the Wildcats. All seniors have gotten on the floor so far, and they lead 17-9 over the Bedford North Lawrence Stars here on 18 WJTS.
The winter clearance event is on at Jubilar Toyota in Jasper. Right now, get year-end savings on remaining new 2025 models in stock, but only while supplies last. Shop favorites like the tough and powerful Tacoma pickup and the popular versatile RAV4 SUV. Available now and priced to move. Plus, you never pay any dealer fees or document fees at Jubilar's, saving you even more. Don't delay. Come in today for the winter clearance event at Jubilar Toyota in Jasper, where customers send their friends since 1929.
Well, we're set to start the second quarter, and it looks like a more familiar team out there right now, Jason.
Yeah, it looks like Coach Gable, you know, let the seniors have the first quarter, and now he's back with his normal starting lineup with Mainers and Foy and Ernie back in now. So.
All right, so those guys will be able to.
They got a little pressure on them now. You know, the other guys scored 17 points in that quarter. See if these guys can keep that up.
Absolutely. But again, we'll need contributions from all those guys starting next week once that sectional comes around, as the Wildcats play on Tuesday against Gibson Southern. Known about the draw since Sunday. And that's a good work right there as Day drove to the left side and drops it off to Mainers for his first bucket of the night. So we're back to a 10-point lead for the Wildcats, and we continue our full court press.
About to get a 10-second call.
Good job. Oh, yes, I think that is Jasper ball, absolutely. So Day went after that ball in a little bit of a lob as they were trying to get it to Jace Nicholson, number 11, and it went right off of him. So outstanding defensive play for the Cats.
Yeah, you know, you were talking about Jasper playing Gibson Southern in the first game of that in the section, or our first game in the sectional. But you know, obviously we played Gibson early in the year, so you know I look for this game to be a little bit different than that game because I think we even I think we even talked about that game when we broadcast that game was. Nicholson, nice basket. But Gibson had a decent run in football, so I think their football players that were playing, they had enough practices to play, but they weren't in basketball shape, so to speak.
Oh, I know what you mean. Definitely know what you mean there. All right, so Jasper's not able to convert on their last two possessions. Now here comes Short. Short 5-on-1, or 1-on-5 more. Drops it off. Ben Connor makes a move, and Mainers is going to pick up that foul. But, you know, that's the thing, you know, because usually you have this full week and you play this game on Thursday night. We've done that with Bedford over the last, you know, number of years. And it's really you're thinking ahead of the section. I mean, let's face it, that's kind of the way things are.
Yeah.
You know, but you're also preparing for the sectional in a game like this.
Yeah,
right?
there's no doubt. I mean, you know, you see Jasper running a full court press tonight, and they don't do that most of the year, but they're doing it now in a game situation as opposed to doing it in practice.
Right.
You know, you can practice that and do it all you want against your own team, but tonight you're going to get an experience of doing that against another opponent.
Right. All right, so Mainers gets his second bucket. That's a 15-foot jump shot right there. So normally have him on the top of my list, but I got him at the bottom since he didn't start tonight. He's looking for his name on the score list. Short drives baseline, gets that shot up and in. So Dax Short, the only offensive threat so far for the Stars tonight.
He definitely tries to create, and if he doesn't shoot, he's done a decent job
I've
of
seen him
finding.
drop off, drop off a couple nice passes. All right, so that doesn't hit much right there, so an easy rebound for Nicholson as he brings it up. Feed over to Axon, can't get that one to go. 8-point lead for the Cats, 21-13, 5:16 on the board. Second quarter action. Sets up Foy in the corner, and Foy hits a three. So Jasper across the board hitting a lot of nice shots tonight, many of them beyond the arc. 6 3-pointer in this basketball game. And there's a steal by Foy. And Day gets it knocked away by Axum there. So 24-13, Jasper with the lead as we see another substitution. Mainers is going to sit down. We get Levi Klaus back in the ball game.
I noticed on that one play that they kind of bobbled the ball. Mainers went after it. It looked like he kind of turned his ankle or something because he come up limping a little bit from it. And I think that's why Coach Gable put a sub in for him right away because, I mean, obviously you don't want to lose. I mean, neither team wants to lose a player at this point in the season.
Right.
So, you know, you obviously want to be careful because I saw him even when he brought him out, you know, he asked him if he was okay.
Yeah. But better be safe than sorry.
Yeah.
Good feed right there into Ernie, and he kicks it back out. So Foy with another three, and he pops his second one. So 7 3-pointers hit by the Wildcats to build a 27-13 lead with 4:23 to go in the half. Connor gives it up, and he gets it back. Attacks the lane, that's going to be a reach, probably on Foy, I would think, if not
Foy or Ernie.
Yeah. We do call it on Ernie there. So nothing serious for Mainers. He comes right back in as Ernie's going to sit down. Speaking of Bedford, they actually drew a bye in the Seymour sectional, so they will play the winner of New Albany and Scottsburg.
Yeah, it's kind of a tough draw.
Yeah.
There's only 2 teams in that sectional with a winning record, and it's New Albany and Scottsburg.
I know. Defending champion Jeffersonville is just 8-12 this year. Well, there's a good shot there by Ben Connors, so he's showing some ability to score a little bit. He's got 5. So 27-16, Jasper leads. Good drive by Butel and beautiful feed, but a shot fake and good recovery there defensively by Ben Connors. So looked like it was going to be an easy one for Levi Klaus, but nice defense by the Stars. So Jasper will have it out here with 3:44 to go. 27-16 is our score. Lamont back in for the Cats. Mainer's off the inbound, and he shoots it long, but we got a whistle over here.
I think Crane, the big boy, he got screened, and he kind of tried to run through it and push the guy out of the way.
Well, as long as you don't get hit by it. Oh, it was Crane you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, I was thinking Connor. Both Connor and Crane are good-sized kids.
Yeah.
Mainers stops and pops, and Crane's going to pick up his foul, so he'll shoot 2.
He'll pick up 2 fouls in one trip down the floor.
All within a matter of seconds.
Yeah.
So we're just seeing Jack Levin come back in. Good roll on that free throw. So Mainers 5 points. He hits this, he'll tie Foy and Lamont as the leading scorers for the Cats tonight so far. 28-16, looking to make it 29, and does. That's going to be a reach by Day. Yeah, as far as Bedford, their head coach is Jackson Ryan, 6-15 in his first year here at Bedford North Lawrence. But he coached for 4 years at Mitchell, with his best season coming last year at 12-12.
I knew this was his first year. I didn't know where he came from.
I'll tell you what, he's got a nice touch there. That's Dax Short hitting another jumper. So
he does a nice job. You said something about Larry Bird a while ago. I mean, even that shot there, he's fading away.
Right.
That's a tough shot, for anybody, much less a high school player.
Absolutely. Again, I mean, I'm a fan of the mid-range game just because I'm old school like you.
Yeah, me too.
But it's like I love to see kids that can still hit it and still take that shot,
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm totally with you on that. I mean, it's that's to us, that's basketball.
Exactly.
And
so 29-18, but he's going to show us three-point ability right there. So he is putting on quite a show tonight. So Dax Short keeping his team in it, cuts it down to 8.
Be interesting to see what he's averaging for the year, because it's got. I mean, he definitely gets enough shots off. So I would think he's scores quite a bit.
Well, that ball actually did not go out of bounds. Mainers tried to save it. Gaxham goes the other way quickly, and a nice shot up in there before Levin can defend it. So John Gable calls a timeout because the big lead Jasper had has been trimmed down to 6. So 29-23. We'll be back right after this here on 18 WJTS.
Southern Indiana Propane recognizes the hard work and dedication that our student athletes put forth to prepare to play their best in representation of our schools. The team at Southern Indiana Propane works to be tough on safety and easy on the pocketbook for our customers. When it comes to safety, we are the most stringent in the area because we want to do all we can to help our customers have confidence that their energy choice is a safe and efficient low-carbon option that is reliable and ready when you are. Propane, energy for everyone.
Well, not only do the players need to continue to work on their game, the coaching has to as well. John Gable calls a timeout there because he didn't like the way his team's played over the last 3 minutes.
Yeah, I think, on defense, he probably got after him a little bit, challenged him to pick it up a little bit on the defensive end.
Right. Right off the toe of Lamont. So.
And that's 3 turnovers for Jasper in this quarter. In the first quarter we had 1.
Right.
And combination of turnovers and Bedford being able to get the ball in the baskets led to this, cutting the lead down.
All right, so Bedford's spreading things out right now as Axum's going to drive. He gets cut off. Good defense there by Kendall. Inside of 2 minutes, it's a 6-point game now. Jasper still leads 29-23. Short. One-on-one against Lamont. Stops. There's that fadeaway J, and he hits it this time. I'll tell you what, he has shown he can score in any which way tonight.
He's definitely having a night. I mean, I don't know, like I said, we don't know what his average is, but.
It's 7 in the first quarter. 2, 4, 6, 9 in this quarter. So an outstanding night, 16 points already. Lamont short on that shot. Good rebound by Kendall.
Yeah, it was.
Levin's going to drive. He stops. And he pops that one. So Levin's having an offensive night. 5 points for him. Set himself up nicely there in the lane. Quick feed down into the big guy, and a jump hook goes up and in. So Bedford's fighting right back.
I laugh. It's just funny to see that shot in high school basketball anymore,
Yeah.
I know years and years ago that was a common shot, but
kind of built like Jim Rowinski from Purdue back in the day.
Yeah, exactly. Jasper had a few of those too. Tom Weinbrenner.
Oh, yeah.
Some of them big guys that were football players that put a basketball uniform on. And
yeah, Whitey was a monster.
Yeah.
He got even bigger when he's at IU.
Oh, that's got to be over the back.
Nice rebound by Kendall there, and yeah, that is climbing over the top of him is Ben Connor. And that's a big free throw because Bedford gets it back. Right now it's a 4-point game, 31-27. So Jasper keeps possession, so a couple subs there to kind of change things offensively for Jasper, I think. So we got 20 seconds if we can inbound here and probably hold for 1. But yeah, what looked like was going to be a blowout is now a basketball game.
Yeah.
So the inbound to Ernie. Now Butel drives. Day takes the 3-pointer but misses badly there, so it gives Bedford a chance to cut it to 2, maybe 1. And the man to do it right now is Dax Short, so I'm sure he's going to isolate. And he stops at the top of the key. Can't get it to go. Battle for the rebound. Still got 0.6 seconds, and they say actually Jasper ball. Just get it to Butel and just a chuck and not there. So, yeah, here we were looking at Jasper just cruising right along, and then all of a sudden Bedford made it a ball game. And, yeah, a very impressive effort by Dax Short and taking advantage of a lot of Jasper turnovers.
Yeah, there was. I had Jasper for 3 turnovers in that quarter, and Bedford for 2. So, combination of that and the ability to get to the basket, and score. I mean, Bedford scored 18 points that quarter.
Yeah.
So, and that's a combination of, like what we said, turnovers, missed shots. Logan Day's having a really rough time shooting the ball tonight.
Yeah, I know.
And normally he's one of our more prolific shooters, and luckily Lamont, had hit a few that he's hit, or, you you keep going back to the first quarter that those guys that played, they're not starters, but they're still good basketball players. But, they did a pretty good job in the first quarter.
Oh, yeah.
Not only with the offense, but on the defensive end. They held them to 9 points in the first quarter. So, I think, with the combination of those things, and I'm pretty sure Coach Gable's probably going to get after them a little bit in the locker room here at halftime because, again, this time of the year, it's about building momentum for Tuesday night. And, we got off to a good start, and we were building some good momentum.
Absolutely.
Felt good going into Tuesday night. And then after the second quarter, it's like, I don't know. So we'll see how they respond.
And again, it's just proof that you got to play 4 quarters of basketball.
That's exactly
every
right.
single game.
Yeah.
I don't care who it's against. I mean, because you could look at Bedford coming into this game. They lost 95-61, 74-42, and 78-55. So, they've been getting hammered over the last few games and all that.
Yeah.
But, they're showing a lot of heart right now.
Oh, there's no doubt. I mean, they're out there competing. They're playing for some pride. I don't know that these kids nowadays. I mean, Jasper and Bedford used to be a big rival.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, when we were in school,
right,
that was a hated rival. Was
Absolutely.
Bedford.
Yep.
And I think it's changed. Well, we quit playing them there for a long time.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously it lost some of that luster. But Bedford's not record-wise. They're not having a good season. They could make their season basically tonight.
Yeah, with a win.
If they could come in here and beat us on our home floor. So they're playing with a little pride and want to earn a little respect. And sometimes teams like that are dangerous because they've got something to play for and to prove.
Right.
And us on the other hand, we're more so worried about playing well to carry it over to the sectional,
right,
as opposed to having some pride, defend your home court and that type of thing. So.
All right, well, we'll see what kind of adjustments are made here at halftime. So we'll take a break here. Jasper leads by 4, 31-27 here on 18 WJTS.
103.3 The Fix is Southern Indiana's go-to radio station for must-have music hits.
I love your music!
From the All-American Rejects to Lizzo, we've got you covered.
Dude, I listen all the time.
Did we mention we also have local news, sports, and Pacers basketball?
Wow.
Your music fix, your sports fix, your fix for it all.
Oh my God, I won!
Tune in to 103.3 and get your fix today.
Today's must-have music all day.
Well, we're back here at Jasper High School, getting ready to start for the second half. We'll take a look at the first half scoring as the Wildcats right now lead 31-27 over the Bedford North Lawrence Stars. And for Bedford, Dax Short, we talked about him, and he's been outstanding. 16 of their 27 points. He's also got a little chip in from Driven Axum with 2 points, Gibson Crane with 2. Jace Nicholson's got a bucket, and 5 points for Ben Connor. And for the Wildcats, kind of spread out here as far as the scoring. 3 players with 6, and that includes Kean Lamont. 6 points for Riley Foy, 6 points for, Mainers actually has 8 points. He had 2 free throws there, so we'll give him an extra one. So he's got 8. 5 points for Cash Kendall, 3 points for Ethan Thornburg, and Jack Levin with 5 points. So Jasper back out there with their regular starting lineup, it looks like. So we'll see if they can kind of get back in sync after the seniors playing that first quarter and building a 17-9 lead, but right now it's just 4. There's a drive by Easton Moore trying to make a move. Now look behind and pick in the pocket of Foy. Didn't quite see Axum coming behind him, but Jasper will hang on to the ball. So, yeah, we'll see what kind of adjustments were made at halftime and see how they respond.
You're exactly right. I mean, sometimes, and guys will try to use it as an excuse, the starters didn't get into their – wow, that was a late call.
It was a late call, but a right call.
It was right, but, I mean, why wait so long to make it?
I know.
But sometimes it's like, well, they didn't get in the flow of the game. That's baloney. I mean, I don't buy that.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be ready to go. You got to be ready to play when your name's called or when it's your turn to go into play. Whether it's whether you're a starter, whether you're a sub coming off the bench, doesn't matter. You got to be ready to go.
Right.
And, like tonight, our normal starters didn't start, but so what? You started the second quarter. That's just like starting the game, in my opinion.
I agree. So Mainers hits that second free throw, so it's a 5-point game now. And the thing with Bedford, while they kind of made that run, that's when they, because an outstanding quarter, obviously, or a half by Dax Short, but other guys started to pick it up because they had 4 other players that scored in that second quarter when only 1 player scored in the first. But Mainers comes up with a nice bucket there, so a beautiful feed.
Yeah, that was a very nice pass by Butel because he got in there and he really didn't have anything to do, but he was able to find, holy cow, he was able to find a wide open.
Well, Day misses a wide open one there.
Day's had a rough, and that's an understatement,
right.
A rough night
because,
he missed that. That's an easy shot. He missed, he's missed some three-point looks that he normally knocks down.
But on the defensive side, he just came up with a steal there, and he had a steal and a couple of deflections in the first half, so at least he's doing it on the defensive side. But, yeah, he needs to get his offensive game on track. And Mainers with a nice aggressive battle down low and comes up with the bucket. So he's off to a good start.
Yeah, and from the way this quarter started, I think that was something that Coach probably stressed at halftime was get the ball inside, let's establish that and go from there.
Right. Well, the Wildcats taking advantage of it and have built a 36-27 lead with 6:18 to go here on 18 WJTS.
The winter clearance event is on at Jubilar Chevrolet Cadillac in Jasper. Right now, get year-end savings on select new Chevrolet models in stock, but only while supplies last. Shop favorites like the tough, dependable Silverado pickup, the comfortable and versatile Equinox, and the fun, fuel-efficient Trax. All priced to move. Plus, you never pay any dealer fees or document fees at Jubilar's, saving you even more. Don't delay. Come in today for the winter clearance event at Jubilar Chevrolet Cadillac in Jasper, where customers send their friends since 1929.
All right, just the start you want for the Jasper Wildcats to get back on track. We'll see if they can continue on for the rest of the quarter here. 6 minutes to go here in the third. Shot doesn't go, but a battling comes down back with it, and Mainer's got his hand on it, so Ben Connor not able to come up with one there, but North will hang on to the ball. North Lawrence, I mean.
Yeah, I think everybody knows what you mean.
And, of course, this is our final telecast of the season, so
yeah,
Jason,
it is.
Me, Carey, Jeremy. It's been a lot of fun so far, right?
It has. I enjoy doing this. I don't know what year it is, but 4th, 5th year, whatever it is.
Yep.
But, I have a lot of fun doing it, and I'm grateful that I get the opportunity to do it.
Absolutely.
And it's, again, it's, we just sit here and try to talk about basketball because, it's different doing TV as opposed to radio because obviously on the radio they can't see the action.
Exactly.
And with ours, you really wouldn't have to say anything, because we were actually talking about that on the way to Evansville the other night about how the IHSA is the reason why we can't do the tournament or the games beyond now.
Yeah.
And then they have these broadcasts where they have the video, but there's no announcers on some of them.
Exactly, I know.
So it's like, you can watch a basketball game that way without having announcers.
Maybe we can find out who you need to talk to about that, right?
Yeah, maybe we could get a moonlight and find a job maybe, but.
All right, well, Parker Ernie with a nice drive here to get his first bucket of the night. So it continues on for Jasper. Bedford still looking for their first bucket of the third quarter. We're almost 3 minutes into it. Ernie almost steals that there. And I think that's one thing maybe we've done is, as far as a defensive assignment, put Ernie on Dax Short because he looks like he's not getting quite the looks he had before.
Yeah, I mean, there in the first half, we had, Ernie guarded him some, and we had a bunch of different guys guarding him. Ernie's definitely our best defender. See, now in the old days, that would have been over and back because his toe went across the line.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, But with the way the rule is now, the ball, they go by where the ball is.
Oh, where the ball is, really?
Yeah.
I did not even know that. Wow.
Oh, he just double dribbled.
Yeah, he did almost.
They didn't call that.
Good job, Parker, but they're going to call him for a travel. So, a little shot fake there, and I guess there's a little shuffle of the foot, but regardless, Jasper still holding Bedford scoreless as we're approaching the halfway point of the quarter. Dax Short tries to work off a screen. Loses the handle, and a good job there by Foy to come up with it, and he can't blow this and lay up, and he does not. So good job there. It's a little coast-to-coast play.
Yeah, Jasper's definitely picked up the defensive intensity here in the third quarter. You know, I'm sure Coach Gable, that was one of the stressing points at halftime.
Right. Well, that sets up for a three-point shot that doesn't go for Easton Moore. So Jasper looking to continue to build. Good feed down low, and Ernie, no call. Wow. Now he gets a call.
And out of all that, I thought that might have been the cleanest. I mean, he got fouled twice before that.
Right. I mean, usually if a body falls on top of you, you should call a foul. But it wouldn't have been a shooting foul because,
he was on the floor,
yeah,
but
still.
Yeah.
All right, so that's actually foul number 3 on Ben Connor. So substitution, Jed Alvey back into the ball game. Axum's going to sit for Bedford. Jasper sitting is Thornburg. So we got Butel and Kendall out there. So Parker Ernie hits 1 of 2. So a 4-point lead is now a 14-point lead for the Wildcats, and that's actually going to be an offensive foul they call on Short there. So used his forearm to try to create some space there on that drive. So actually they now send Crane back into the ball game for Connor since he's got 3 fouls. Levin is checked back in for the Cats. Mainers with a nice move and draws the contact. Those kind of post moves, we need to see more of him. Nice little spin along the baseline to utilize his quickness, and actually officials right in the face of Dax Short. I don't know if he popped off or what.
Yeah, I don't know what he did. I mean, I just saw him lay the ball down. Evidently he did something this official didn't like, but.
All right, so Mainers pretty resourceful from the line tonight, 4 of 5. And he's building up quite a night. He's got 16. Bedford still has not scored in the quarter until then. So first bucket of the quarter comes from Gibson Crane, number 24, and it's 44-29 right now. Cats had outscored Bedford 13-2 in this quarter. Mainers short on that shot. Jed Alvey gives it up to Short. Short finds an opening and gets the shot up with the left hand. So 18 points for him. So Bedford has scored on their last 2 possessions. Levin dribbles to the bow, and ball gets deflected and winds up in the hands of Short. Coming up on 2 minutes to go in the quarter here, 44-31, Jasper leads. Whoa. 3-point shot does not go, so that was launched up here by Jace Nicholson. Mainers finds Levin, and a quick shot up and in. So Levin's having some offense tonight with 7 points.
Yeah.
And he's looked good.
Yeah, he has. There obviously it was the pass that set that up. But
how many times people
still
miss
got?
those
I was
bunnies,
going to say you still got to finish it.
There's going to be a foul on Butel, who actually pushed, trying to prevent Alvey from hitting the shot, and he hit it anyway. But yeah, just too many times you see somebody like that. He just went quick up with the shot and had a nice touch with it. So, I mean, that was impressive, I thought.
Yep.
For a guy who doesn't shoot very often. He had that one play in the lane in the first half that was really nice, too.
Yeah,
so.
he hasn't played a lot. So.
All right, so a 3-point play there. So Bedford, who took almost 6 minutes to score, have scored 7 points in about the last minute or so of this half, or this quarter, third quarter.
They just gave Short a delay of game warning because he got the rebound and he's done it 3 straight times, and now they finally warned him for it.
All right, well, there's a jumper by Foy. He's got a nice game going as well. He's got 10. Jace Foy, just a sophomore, but he has just really grown into an outstanding basketball player this year.
Yeah, he's got a nice shooting touch. Obviously he's still got, a lot of things to work on in his game. Defense, sometimes I think he kind of lets down his guard on defense a little bit sometimes, but, like you said, he's only a sophomore, so, hopefully he'll continue to learn and grow from those things.
Yeah, and also physically, I'm sure he's going to get bigger as well.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll take a break. 1:07 to go. Jasper with a 14-point lead, 48-34 here on 18 WJTS.
101 Country, WBDC, your morning brain teaser.
Here's Dolly Parton now on Lunch with the Legends on 101 Country.
All right, leading things off on a Good Time Gold Saturday morning.
Beezer, good morning.
Good morning, Ty.
How you doing?
I'm doing great, man.
Be sure to join me from 3 to 6 for Afternoons with Amanda.
We are 101 Country, WBDC.
All right, so Bedford will have the basketball here with 1:07 to go. Jasper with the 48-34 lead, so the Cats have obviously responded after the kind of late lackluster second quarter, but there's actually a good aggressive move by Crane to knock that away, but Jasper's able to recover, and now they're picking up their pressure, and that's going to be a foul called on Dax Short. And showed a little reaction there. He's not been on the best of terms with the officials in this third quarter.
Yeah.
Got to watch it.
Yeah, he better, because they're obviously – he's kind of a marked guy for him right now. They're watching everything he does, but
all right, so free throws come by the way of Kean Lamont. He's had a nice night. He had 2 3-pointers to start this basketball game. Misses the second there, so 1 of 2. Inside a minute here. 15-point lead for Jasper as Bedford works it.
Kean Lamont's dad was at halftime. They introduced the state bowling champions for Jasper, and Kean Lamont's dad is one of the, I guess, they're coaches in bowling. I don't know, but I know he's one of them.
Yeah, they won the state championship. Outstanding season for them.
And Kean's actually, he's going to college to bowl. So
and there's a battle down low. And coming away with it is Jed Alvey, gets it across. So we're down to 14 seconds. Ball's in Dax Short's hands. And good defense right there. Coming right to knock that away was Levi Klaus to kind of disrupt things there. So they're trying to get another shooter in. Easton Moore comes in, number 10.
They took Short out.
Well, they did, didn't they?
If he got hit on that play or what, but
they try a lob there.
That was a nice play. They just didn't execute it.
Now coming the other way, and they're actually going to say still Jasper ball. So Klaus lost the handle there. So 1.6, just enough for a catch and shoot. $49-34, Jasper led by 4 at halftime, has built a much bigger lead, and Lamont can't quite get it to go there at the buzzer. So, all right, so Jasper comes back with a big third quarter, 18 points, and they lead 49-34 as we go to the fourth here on 18 WJTS.
Contact Maringer Plumbing, Heating and Air at 812-482-4425. That's 812-482-4425. Located at 723 3rd Avenue in Jasper.
It's hard to stop a train.
All right, we're at Q4 here. Final quarter of the regular season for both these teams. Good position down there and good feet, actually, but a lot of bodies flying on the ground there, but that's going to lead to a free throw shooting opportunity for Riley Foy. So Foy with 10 points tonight, didn't play until the second quarter, as all seniors played that first quarter to build a 17-9 lead.
Got a big weekend in Jasper this weekend, jamming in Jasper.
Jamming in Jasper, yeah.
Be a lot of little basketball players in town this weekend. You know, that's a good thing. I mean, it's good for the community because, I mean, you look at the amount of people. I'm on the Booster Club board for the basketball team, and there's 100. Wow. There's 103 teams coming.
103, wow.
Yeah.
What's the age range?
It goes from, there's a nice pass by Lamont.
Outstanding.
It goes from 3rd grade to 8th grade.
3rd grade to 8th grade?
Yep.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been involved with that.
Yeah, it's Kevin Messmer is he's on the Booster Club board, and Kevin does an outstanding job with that with jamming in Jasper. He's done it for quite some time.
Right.
And he's just he's a maniac out there.
Look at that play. He stayed after it.
He did. But yeah, you know, Kevin does an outstanding job. Obviously, it takes a lot of volunteer help to pull it off.
Right. Mainers can't handle that pass, and now Bedford coming out with their heads on fire here in the second half, and Short gets another quick bucket there.
Short decided he just took the third quarter off, and now he's decided he's going to play again.
Right. He's got 22 in the ball game, only scored 2 in the third after 16 in the first half. Detail. Foy with it. Ernie gets to the lane. Good position on that drive. Squared his shoulders for the basket and hits it.
Yeah, he did. He did a good job with doing that and had good body control once he got in there.
Yeah. So again, he's just one of those basketball players you love to have on your team. I mean, busted offensively, defensively, does all the little things as well.
Yeah, he just plays hard all the time when he's out there, and that's what that's kind of synonymous with Jasper basketball. You know, I mean, we've always had kids that, you know, play hard. We got an offensive foul on Connor, I think.
Yeah, that was down low. So that's foul number 5, so he's going to sit. So Ben Connor, frustrating second half. I think he picked up 3 of his 5 here in the second half. So with 5:56 to go, plenty of time, and he's done.
Yep.
Foy will drive. He's got an open lane and an easy layup. 12 points for him. Check out 14 points for him. Hit 2 free throws last time up, and now Short's going to go to the line.
You put Short on a team that has multiple scorers, and, you know, obviously he's not going to score, but he has the ability to create things.
Opportunities,
you know,
yeah.
and right now, I think, he tries to create them for himself.
Yeah.
But, if he was on a team that had other guys that could score, he would do a good job of being able to create them for open shots.
Because the thing is, he can work with the ball or off the ball, and then also when he attacks a lane like that, again, he just doesn't really have anybody else to feed it to.
No.
So 24 points for him tonight. 18-point lead for Jasper. He tries to drive against Short. Now it's down into Ernie. Ernie aggressive with a shot and puts it up and in. And, again, those are shots we're going to need come next week as well, Jason.
Oh, there's no doubt. That takes a little pressure off of Mainers and Foy, when we have the ability for somebody else to score.
All right, so a little bit of muscle shown right there by Crane to draw the contact from Mainers. So he'll step to the line and shoot a couple. So he's got 4 points tonight. Good touch on that one.
Yeah, for a big guy, because a lot of times you see guys that are that muscular, they don't have a very good touch because they're just so muscular.
Right. So 2 for 2. So Bedford's shot fairly decent from the free throw line tonight. 2, 4, 6, 7 of 9. Foy drives and gets the ball knocked away by Axum. Attacks, gives it up to Crane. Crane's going to go to the line to shoot 2 more. So Bedford's still pushing when they get the opportunity. Problem is with 4:45 to go, they're down by 18.
Yeah, the clock's going to be their worst enemy right here. But, from Jasper's standpoint, these last 4:45 are very important in my opinion because you need to play a clean 4 minutes and 45 seconds. By that I mean take care of the basketball, don't take dumb shots, work your offense, and do that type of thing so that it can carry on.
We got a whistle here.
Utel's going to get a push.
Well, that wasn't very clean, was it?
No. Right on cue to what we're talking about. But
well, it's a 16-point game. Jasper still with a sizable lead, but we saw a sizable lead in the second quarter dwindle down to 4.
These are the things like, we talked about the other night at Harrison too. You get these leads, you got to be able to take care of the basketball and maintain them.
Axum with the drive there, and now the ball gets knocked away, and they're going to call Short for the foul. Really checked. Short is a senior, so.
Yeah. I looked at that too a while ago.
He's trying to make the most of his final days as a varsity basketball player. Actually knocks the ball away, but Jasper's recovering, and Mainers will go to the line to shoot 2. Should have been a 3-point play. I think he was trying to dunk it maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, he wouldn't high enough.
No.
But why not just kiss it off the glass for an easy one?
Yeah. Take the 3 points that you're going to get out of it.
All right, so Jalen's got some free throws coming. He is 4 for 5 tonight. Guess we can always use free throw practice too, right?
Yeah, I'm just going to look up at the stats here a little bit and see what coming into tonight, we shot 67% from the 3-point line, from the free throw line.
Yep.
Mainers is a 68. Foy's our best free throw shooter at 78.
Okay. That shot is short by Axum there. Lamont double dribbles. All right, so Coach Gable not happy with the way Jasper handled things there.
Well, again, we got 4 turnovers here in the fourth quarter. And again, the game's out of hand, so it's not as big a deal, but, in a close ball game, that's very crucial.
not very clean, right?
Right.
Short on that jumper. Been waiting to see it all night. Feed right there. Oh, man, Ernie couldn't convert, but
seeing those are, I mean, you got to finish that. You know, Mainer's made a nice pass, found Ernie wide open, and you got to be able to finish those.
It's almost like during his football season, finding a wide open receiver in the end zone who drops it.
Yeah.
You tell one of his receivers during the season can't hit that shot, though. So we're still with an 18-point lead. 3.5 to go. Short stops. Mainer's disrupted that shot. You don't always have to block a shot to play good defense against a shot.
No, that's exactly right. You know, we talked about that at Harrison the other night about how we try to block so many shots, and you know, against good teams that can haunt you. And you know, we talked about getting a hand up in the face for, you know, to block or to just disrupt the shot.
Yeah.
You know, and there's another bunny that we don't, you know, convert on. We're fortunate that we got the rebound, but you know, we got to clean some things up, you know, if we're going to, you know, have some success in the tournament.
All right, so John Gable calls a timeout because he wants to give the curtain call to the seniors on the floor, but also to get more seniors back on the floor that started this basketball game. So we'll take a break here. 18-point lead for the Cats when we come back here on 18 WJTS.
Providing news, sports, interviews, meetings, and presentations, community events, information, and local resources to you. All from the comfort of where you choose to watch, read, or listen. Whether you're at home, at work, or on the go, we'll be there for you. 18 WJTS. Local people watching local people, and more.
All right, so Jasper gets their seniors back on the floor. Levin's going to inbound.
You know,
Kendall out there. Same starters, Thornburg and Klaus.
Just looking at some of the stats, you know, that Coach Noblet was gracious enough to give to us. You know, Jasper on the year has 245 turnovers opposed to 182 for the opponent. You know, and that's kind of lopsided in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, and you got 240 assists and 245 turnovers.
Yeah, it's not a very good ratio,
no,
is it?
No, you usually want that the other way. But
you know, like, okay, we'll see what happens here. He's actually having a nice game now, the second half at least, Gibson Crane. But, you know, the possession before then, Lamont just kind of took a quick shot right there, missed everything.
Yeah.
Doesn't count as a turnover, but it kind of is.
Yeah,
you know, whenever you're really trying to control the clock at the end of a game like this.
Right now you want the ball and you want to control the tempo of the game, and you just want the clock to run.
Yeah.
You know, you've got enough points. I guarantee you Bedford will not end in this game with more than 62 points.
No.
So you've got enough.
Yeah.
You just have to take care of the basketball, and you know, again, you know, I hate to sound like a broken record, but, you know, in crucial games, these turnovers and these quick shots are going to be detrimental to you in the tournament.
Right. All right, well, free throws are going in for Jasper. We haven't missed one in the quarter, so Klaus gets his first point of the night, so
Klaus is a 59% free throw shooter, 10 of 17 on the year.
Missed that one. At least got in scoring column. Actually, surprisingly, Logan Day is the only senior not to score tonight.
Yeah, and Coach Gable wasn't happy with Logan because he took him out after he missed that little wide open layup, and he hasn't been back in since.
So Crane gets that one.
I don't think it's a injury thing. I think it was just you know, kind of a wake-up call to him to say, hey, you know, we need you in this, you know, and Logan's played a vital role all year, and I think, you know, that's what Coach Gable's trying to let him know, that, you know, we need you to continue to play the way you've played all year.
Right.
You know, so.
Actually, Butel has not scored either, but.
Well, let's see here what Levin's free throw percentage is. 50%, 6 of 12.
Jack is at 7 points, so he'll need another bucket or at least another couple free throws, but he hits both those, so
he only averaged 2.1 for the season, so he's way above his average.
Absolutely. 65-48, Jasper with 1:04 to go here. Bedford feeds it down to Crane. He's had an outstanding quarter. And
there was his little hook.
That one, yeah.
His little baby hook again.
He's got 8 points in the quarter for Bedford. Levin gets it out. 3-point shot on the way. Does not go. But a good put-back error by Kendall. Kendall's got 7 points tonight.
Yeah, and he averages 1.4.
There you go. Three-pointer doesn't go for Moore. 31 seconds. We'll see if Jasper dribbles out. But again, when you get guys that don't get to play too often, especially when they do play, it's not for offense, and they want the opportunities. I'd have probably done the same thing. All right, here we go. 8 seconds. Now he calls him to back off, so Lamont will hold it, and Jasper will finish up the season with a 67-48 victory over the Bedford North Lawrence Stars. So, yeah, the key thing in this basketball game in particular was, you had a tough time there in the second quarter, and, Bedford was able to inch back into the ball game, making it a 4-point game, but you really needed a good response in that third quarter, and Jasper brought it.
Yeah, there's no doubt. We came out after halftime, played a little bit more aggressive, picked up on the defensive end. We played a lot better. And looking at our scoring, we scored 17 in the first quarter, 14 in the second quarter, 18 in the third, and 16 in the fourth.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a pretty good recipe for a victory with 67 points.
Yep. 67
points going to win you a lot of basketball games in high school.
I agree.
And then obviously with the way we play defense at times, that's a good combination. So, overall, I think we've talked about this game in general enough.
Mm-hmm.
You look at the season, coming into the season, I was looking at, potentially being a 500 club, so from that standpoint, I thought, we had a successful season.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it.
But again, now, after tonight, for us, everybody's record's 0-0.
Exactly.
No
doubt.
So, you get the one loss, obviously, now you're done. You got to throw out the records. The records don't mean anything in the tournament because, I guarantee you, if you look all across the state of Indiana, there'll be some pretty big upsets, come sectional time, and it's it's just you gotta bring your A game, every quarter.
Mm-hmm.
You can't take quarters off in the tournament because you start taking quarters off. By that I mean let down on defense, have multiple turnovers. Unofficially tonight I had us for 11 turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
Not awful, but in a close ball game, 11 turnovers can be pretty detrimental to you. And I know we sound like a broken record when we keep talking about that, but to have success in the tournament, you have to do two things, or well, more than two, but two of the bigger things are you have to take care of the basketball, and you have to play good defense.
Right.
And if you do those two, you're going to put yourself in the position to win a lot of basketball games.
Well, and I think that's the reason why a lot of times in postseason play, you get in a situation where you got two teams, again, throwing out the records and all that, but it comes down to who wants it more, and those two things right there are really key to that.
There's no doubt. I mean, you basically have to come out in the tournament and play like your shorts are on fire. I mean, you have to basically, you got to get after it every quarter, every possession, every second of the game.
Yeah.
You can't take time off because if you do, in the tournament, if you're playing good teams, which, in my opinion, you get into the tournament, we talked about everybody's records 0-0.
Mm-hmm.
you don't know. I mean, you could have a team that had a not so great record, and it can turn on you for very quickly.
Oh yeah.
And you find yourself down, and it's like, and you get in the tournament and you start to press.
Oh yeah.
You start to
often see that.
You know that this could be the end,
Mm-hmm.
and guys start to do things they're not comfortable with doing,
Mm-hmm.
things they're not accustomed to doing, and that's what to be successful in the tournament. Each guy has to do what he's comfortable doing, what he's been successful doing all year,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what you just take care of yourself.
Right.
If you take care of yourself, all 5 guys that are on the floor take care of themselves, you make it a pretty good basketball team.
Right.
But if it's when you go out and you start to get guys that want to play one-on-one and do too much of that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to be in trouble. I mean, look at Bedford tonight. I mean, the short kid, we talked about him all night.
Mm-hmm.
He's a nice little basketball player.
Right.
But he couldn't win this game by himself.
No.
And that's exactly what happened to him. He doesn't have a supporting cast, and it showed tonight. And that's what you can't come tournament time. It takes 5 guys that are on the floor to play as one,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can have some success.
Well, another thing too is that you also have to have guys that come off the bench and can step up. So can we get the 3-point shooting that we've seen,
Mm-hmm.
Kean Lamont over the last couple games and all that?
Yep.
Can we see that in sectional play?
And the good thing with Kean is, it's that success has come lately.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what's good. If he would have done that the first 2 or 3 games of the year, and then went the rest of the year not so great,
Mm-hmm.
then you go into the tournament. Now he's going into the tournament with a lot of confidence.
Absolutely.
I mean, his confidence hasn't been higher all year than what it is right now. I guarantee it, because he's hit multiple threes Tuesday night at Harrison, tonight against Bedford.
Yes.
So he's got some confidence built up now that, hey, I can shoot the basketball and I can score at the varsity level. And that's what, like you said, it's going to take that out of – normally teams that have success in the tournament have role players that step up, okay? Like a Kean Lamont or, because Mainers and Foy and Day, those guys are going to get their points,
right?
Okay, but who's going to be that guy or 2 guys that you look at the averages for the year that come into a game like tonight. Levin averaged 4 and he had 9.
Yeah.
That's what it takes come tournament time, is for other guys to step up and have success.
Right. Well, but there might be nights where the guys that you're mentioning that you expect to get the points from, they're not doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're exactly right. And they're high school kids. They're not college Duke players or Michigan players or whatever, and they're obviously not pro players. So they're going to have nights that they don't shoot the ball.
Yeah.
Well, so you just have to move on.
Right. All right, well, we got coaches heading this way, so we will have a coaches discussion afterwards. But, yeah, so I'm sure we'll be celebrating the seniors there. But, of course, we'll talk about this basketball game. So, but, Jason, I don't know if we'll get a chance to talk before all this is done. But thank you so much for your coverage. And now actually Andy Noblet's starting to steal
up here trying to steal our food. So, yeah.
Hey, some of this is for Jeremy up here. So
that'll get his hands slapped if he tries that too hard.
All righty. Well, good evening, Coach Andy Noblet. And, we were just talking. I mean, we'll talk about the seniors here in just a bit or whatever. But, the main thing with this is that this is a basketball game, end of the season, kind of a close of the season. We finish up our conference play. But really, you still have to gear up for what's coming up next week with a good basketball game tonight.
Absolutely. I love the way we started tonight. And, those of you that go back and watch the first quarter again, seeing our 5 seniors that predominantly JV guys last year, but the way they moved the ball, found people open, and were able to knock down shots. I was really proud of that group of guys. They practice every day as hard as any team in the whole state.
Right.
And those guys they're easy to be around. They're giving each other a hard time most of the time, just enjoying themselves. And to see them do what they did against Bedford's best 5 just shows you the depth of our team.
Well, and that's the thing, when you have seniors that stick it out for as long, and you have 7 seniors on this team, practice is really your game time for guys like that, isn't it?
Absolutely, and they get plenty of chances to go against our starters, and it makes them better each and every day. And the effort level there is unmatched, and they are always looking to push some of the other guys that are maybe in front of them position-wise, but it makes our practices a lot more competitive.
No doubt about it. Well, in this basketball game, again, that group built a 17-9 lead, and we even built it even further, into double digits in that second quarter. But really, the struggle towards the end of the first half, dropped it down to a 4-point basketball game. So what was the message at halftime to get us to really build things up there in the second or third quarter again?
Yeah, I think Coach Gable took off the press and went man, stopped creating a little bit of offense for them, because their shot chart had them all over the paint, and they weren't making many threes from the perimeter. So doing that, also making sure that we weren't switching unnecessarily off of 5. 5 was getting his matchup, and we couldn't find our best defenders to be on him, and so that gave him some opportunities to get loose in the second quarter. And sure, he put the ball in the basket quite often against us, and so putting Parker Ernie out there and frustrated him a little bit more, created some more rebounds for us, and then we were able to push in transition.
Yeah, because that's an outstanding job. You get somebody to score 16 points in the first half, to shut them down to just 2 in that third was crucial, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And the one thing that you go back on the film, they were trying to get the ball to him. They were trying to isolate him, and Parker's defense just wouldn't let that happen.
Right.
So the one thing, with Parker, he exhausts himself on that defensive end. So we've got to make sure that we get him some rest every once in a while, too, so that he can execute on the offensive end.
Right. Well, it's senior night, so obviously a celebration of 7 seniors on this basketball team, and everybody else that's involved with the program, cheerleaders and band and dance team and all that. So what's senior night mean to all these guys?
Well, I think they recognize all of their hard work is coming to fruition, and, not only do we have all those people, but that front row of our basketball fans is also a bunch of really good kids who are cheering for the right kind of guys, and being able to be on the bench and hear what's going on down there, and also see our kids play really good basketball here down the stretch, just makes it enjoyable for everybody that's involved. And you can tell there's a little more pep in the step at school, whether it comes from those cheerleaders or dance people or the band. People are talking about what's going on with Jasper basketball, and we're happy to have that.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, we had a makeup game, so usually we just have this final game to get, and then, the section will come in there. But we had 2 games this week, so that was a little more busy for us. But, you've known who your sectional opponent is, and now it's time to get ready for them.
Yeah, absolutely. The coaching staff's been working on Gibson Southern since Sunday, so it's not like we may be prepared like we normally would for Harrison or for Bedford, and still played very well, which was kind of nice to see from our guys. And the ability for them to understand what we really want to do defensively, that transfers each and every night. And that's, I think we kind of lost that a little bit at Bloomington South. We were trying to maybe score with them a little more than we should have just tried to defend them. And I think that was a good wake-up call for us. And I think that Bloomington South game really helped prepare us for this week because of their discipline and the way that they play. We had to really concentrate and focus, and they defended us very well. And some of the other teams that that we've played on our schedule haven't defended like that. So it's good to have played them last Friday.
Well, and the thing is, you've coached for a number of years, and same thing with Coach Gable and everybody else involved with the program. But you guys have also played the game, and you played in these big sectionals. Now, of course, it's not as crazy as the Southridge sectional from back in the day, but still, what do you try to relay to these guys as a former player?
Well, I think one thing that people overlook is being the first team that can get into a rhythm of what they want to get done, but also have to understand that the other team sometimes will panic, and just because you get a quick lead doesn't mean that they're not going to come back and settle down. So it's about consistency. Who can take a deep breath first and be able to concentrate, see the ball go in the bucket, develop that confidence that things are going to go well. I think that's a big part of getting kids ready. I've seen it a lot in our baseball program, and now we do that, and the same thing in our basketball program.
Right.
We've got to be the first to relax and know that that what we're doing is going to create some easy baskets for us and then get into that rhythm where we can really knock down some shots.
Absolutely. All right, well, we're looking forward to it, and we'll see you Tuesday night.
Thank you.
All right. Andy Knobwood sharing his thoughts on this basketball game and also as far as the senior celebration tonight. But, yeah, the big thing starts next week. So the Wildcats will play Game 2 on Tuesday night, 7:30 starts. So you'll see the first game is Washington-Vincennes. That starts at 6, and the Cats will follow against Gibson Southern. So, Jason, the Gibson Southern team at 16-6. We knocked them off early in the season, but like you said, they were just kind of coming off the football season and all that.
Yes.
So, two different basketball teams, not only them, but also us.
Oh, there's no doubt. I mean, they've gotten better, obviously, and so have we. You obviously you can't take them lightly because they're one of 4 or 5 teams that's beat Princeton this year. So,
Right.
And Princeton's got a very good ball club. So, obviously, you got to bring your A game. You got to be ready to go. And like we said, you got to be ready to go from the start.
Right.
You can't come out, because if you come out in the sectional and you're not ready to go, it can be a long game.
Right.
So,
Well, this is our opportunity to kind of reflect on the basketball season because it's the end of our coverage of it, but we really hope to see the Wildcats play another 3 or 4 games coming up.
Oh, there's no doubt. I mean, obviously, we'll still follow them and do the fan part of it now. So, you're right. I mean, obviously, we're Jasper fans, not just Jasper basketball fans.
Right.
We want Jasper to be successful in whatever sport they're participating in,
Right.
just like the bowling team.
Absolutely.
Tonight, that's a great accomplishment.
Absolutely.
So anytime, that the thing that, as 16, 17, 18-year-old kids, they don't realize what they're doing, but they're representing the community. And anytime they put a uniform on that says Jasper on it,
Yes.
it doesn't matter what sport it is, you put on that Jasper uniform, you're reflecting a community that has great support. We'll probably year in and year out, we have one of the biggest crowds at sectional games, and hopefully if people are listening, they get out and they go watch us play in the sectional. And that means a lot to kids that they don't really know it. They don't realize, we talk about it at baseball a lot, how kids nowadays, they don't realize, they take for granted WITZ, WJTS, there's a lot of schools in the state of Indiana that they're not hardly ever on the radio unless they're on the road somewhere playing somebody, much less be on the radio and have a TV coverage, and kids don't relish that opportunity that they get from that.
Right.
So.
Yeah, it's a different world, but, again, I think that once you get between the lines at any sport, those kids are given every bit of
Oh, there's no
effort that
doubt.
they have.
There's no doubt. I mean, kids represent Jasper well in whatever sport it is, and that's something that goes back to, 1, their parents, and 2, the coaching staff at Jasper, no matter what sport it is.
Absolutely.
Those coaches respect the game, and they respect these kids, but yet they push these kids and expect them to perform the way that they need to.
Absolutely. All right, well, Jason, great job again this year. I got to work a handful of games with you this year, but
it's always
a pleasure and always fun to chat with you. But and of course, Jeremy Marcos, the best in the business, as Brent Weibo always said back in the day. So we're going to continue to say that now.
Yep, Judd does an outstanding job, and he's always fighting with equipment malfunctions and things. He does a great job.
Absolutely, and of course, brother Carey, covering most of the season with you as well. So for everybody involved with Jasper Wildcat basketball coverage here on WJTS, my name is Craig Schneider, and the Cats will start the sectional next week, but they finished the regular season with a 14-8 record with a win tonight over Bedford, 67-48. Good night, everybody.
The preceding was a special presentation of 18 WJTS TV. High school basketball on WJTS is proudly brought to you by Southern Indiana Propane, Mehringer Plumbing, Heating and Air, DuBois County Tire, Ubalor & Sons Chevy, Cadillac, Toyota, and 18 WJTS, a DC broadcasting company. Thank you for watching.